Hello and welcome to Journeys. We are back for part 2 of Chloe's journey.
Just couldn't get enough of me.
Couldn't get enough of Chloe, and we're just giving the people what they want.
Cliffhanger!
So Journeys is a raw, honest space for the stories that shape us, and we are going to chat about part 2 of Chloe's story today. So we ended with you in the hospital, and you didn't know you were pregnant.
I didn't.
What happens next, Chloe?
So when I went to the hospital that time, it was because of the Braxton Hicks that I now know were Braxton Hicks. But at the time, again, I was so sick that I was worried that something bad was happening. So I went in and kind of just said that I didn't know I was pregnant. And then it came to a point where they were like, because you tell that to all them and you're saying that bad things are happening and they're like, oh no. And they're saying that they need a scan and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I actually have a scan. I actually got one of those done. Because they know what to do to diffuse the situation of these midwives running around like headless chickens. So I was like, yeah, I got a scan done. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it, guys. And they were like, okay. I thought you didn't know you were pregnant. I was like, I didn't until then. Until that point, I didn't know. And so then after that, they actually told me, basically they wanted to do the same thing as what happened to me when I went in with Man the first time. And they wanted to do the, swab of my cervix, I suppose. And at that point, I was like, look, I really don't want to do that. And I was straight up this time and I told them why I didn't want to have it done. And the midwife that was with me originally, she was like, you could probably do it yourself. She was like, I can actually get the swab for you and you can do it yourself. But she was like, I have to ask the doctor first. So she asked the doctor and the doctor came in and he was like, no, you're not doing that yourself. And I was like, okay. And he was like, it'll just be inconclusive results if I did it myself and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, why can't I even just try? Isn't it better to try than not do it at all? But basically the conclusion that they kind of came to was we would just keep an eye on everything and I would come back for the prenatal appointments. So yeah, that's how that situation kind of resolved, I suppose.
And you had kind of gone in with, can I join the home birth party? What happened there?
So yeah, because I had already been in touch with getting the home birth stuff started and the fact that I'd already gone to the hospital. So all these things were kind of already starting to become in motion. And I went back to the prenatal appointments that I got. And when I can't remember, I'm trying to remember timelines because I feel like I stayed in the hospital for a while before that because it came to a point where I stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks. But after that, because when I was in the hospital, there was one midwife / doctor. I'm not sure. I think some people have told me she's a doctor, but she every day, because I was staying there in the hospital for my mental health, basically. I just wanted extra support about the whole situation of me vomiting the whole time. I was afraid that, because I was by myself 90% of the time, and I was afraid that I was going to fall or something like that from the fact that I just felt so weak all the time from getting sick the whole time, and I didn't want something like that to happen. So I just wanted the extra security of being there's people around me, because I live with my mom, but my mom works full time, so it's not like she can be sitting there watching me the whole time, and if something was to happen, it's not like someone else is around. So I stayed in the hospital, and they ended up getting in a psychiatrist to evaluate me, and his plan was for me to stay another week. But the whole time I was there, this particular doctor would come to me every morning, because the way they come in every morning, go around to everybody. And when she got to my bed, she would always be like, are you going home today? And I was like, no. And it just comes to a point where you're you just don't want me here, because she would keep explaining to me oh, we need the beds, why are you here? And it's I don't know why I have to justify myself every time that you come in here.
You also have a report from a psychiatrist saying that.
Yeah, because this was the morning after I had gotten that plan with the psychiatrist. And she came to my bed again and said the same thing. And I was like, why do you keep asking me that? Because I was like, literally yesterday I had a psychiatrist come in here to evaluate my situation, and his plan for me going forward was to stay for another week. And you're still coming to my bed this morning and ask me, am I going home today? Like, that's not the plan that was made here for me. Like, it feels like you just don't want me here. You don't think that I should be here. And she was like, no, it's not that at all. I'm like, well, why do you keep coming to my bed every morning and saying that then? And that was grand. She went off. And then the next morning, she came in, but she came in with, like, I feel like there was 3 other people with her that morning, but she brought another doctor with her, and she talked to everybody else, but when she got to my bed, she just literally came to my bed and declared that she was not talking this morning, and initiated for the other doctor to talk to me. And he spoke to me and he was absolutely fine, and he just kind of asked me how I was feeling and everything like that, and never said anything to me about going home or anything like that. But yeah, then they left, and that was how she kind of handled that situation from then on. And I'm like, why did you feel the need to even say anything about you not talking? Just don't talk to me. But yeah, then when I went to my prenatal appointment, when I got it after I was staying in the hospital for the 2 weeks or whatever, I ended up having her being the, like, consultant, I suppose, that
Just
I was
sign off
seeing
on
the home birth. But she was working under another doctor as well. So it was like I went to the midwife, they did the wee and all that kind of stuff and the BMI. And then when I came out of there, I was to go to this other doctor, and I went into her, and she was talking to me about the gestational diabetes test. And I was saying that I didn't want to do it. Like, I was like, I will do it if you want me to, but the reason that you're wanting me to do it is because glucose showed up high in my urine. I was like, the day that you took that urine sample, I had literally just drank a bottle of Lucozade. I was like, of course there was going to be glucose in my urine after that. So I was like, can we retake the sample? No. I was like, why can't we retake the sample? Like, what is so bad about retaking the sample? Because I was like, if it shows up again, then sure, I'll do it then. But I'm not just going to accept that, like, it couldn't have possibly been the Lucozade that made the glucose in my urine possible.
And was the gestational diabetes test a condition for the home birth?
I'm not really sure, because she was saying no to the home birth regardless, basically, because we talked about the gestational diabetes thing. And then I asked her, what about the home birth? And she was like, no, you're not getting one. And I was like, okay, if I do the gestational diabetes test, will I get the home birth? And it was no. And I was like, okay. But then she was saying to me, did I want to talk to the doctor? I was like, yeah, because I don't want to talk to you, basically. But between me, before I went to the doctor, I was seen with another midwife. And that midwife then said to me, she was like, you know, if you're a good girl now and you get this gestational diabetes test done, like, they might actually give you your home birth and all this. It was like good cop, bad cop almost. And I'm like, please.
And were you at any point thinking, I'm having a home birth anyway?
I know, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, this is pointless. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, you just want to preach to me about how dangerous what I was thinking of doing in the first place is. But I'm like, I'm telling you that I am so afraid and uncomfortable of giving birth in the hospital, but you're not willing to work with me. So how do you, like, not that I'm saying out straight, give me the home birth or I'm not coming here, because I'm not blackmailing them, but I'm also, like, logistically thinking, how do you think that is going to work out?
Also, you're not blackmailing them, but they are kind of blackmailing you.
Yeah. Because it's the same thing of, like, this rhetoric that I kept getting, which was like, we need to be able to trust you. And I was like, what about me needing to be able to trust you? Like, trust is a two-way thing. If both of us don't trust each other, like, there's no trust. So yeah, I went to that midwife and had that quick little conversation, and I was like, okay. But then I saw the doctor, and she, like, was like, yeah, no, flat out, no, we're not giving you a home birth, and not really giving me a reason for why. And they were like, you can get a second opinion if you want. And I was like, yeah, get me a second opinion. And at that point, when I got the second opinion, there was also the head of the home birth. And, like, she came and chatted with me, and she was like, you know, this other doctor, she is willing to do this with you. It was still kind of, like, implied that, like, if you want this, like, get the gestational diabetes test done. Which I was like, you know what, like, yeah, okay. Like, maybe it was just all a grand scheme to get me to get the gestational diabetes test done. But yeah, like, I tried my best, because I didn't even say no flat out to the gestational diabetes test. First I asked, could we test the urine again? And I was like, based on the decision, the like results of the test in the urine again, then we can reconvene and can we see if I can do, like, I'll test my blood every day with the pinprick. Like, I'm willing to do that. I just don't want to take the fucking glucola drink. Like, I prefer not to do that. So can I explore the other options? And everything was just stonewall of no, no, no. Like, we're not going to work with you at all on this. You do what we tell you to do, or we're not going to do anything for you, basically. But even if they didn't want me to do the continuous monitoring, I'm like, it's not that hard to test urine again. Just retest it. So again, it's just this illusion of choice almost, because it's like, we're asking you to get this done, but also if you don't get it done, we're not going to work with you at all, or we're not going to give you any options for what else you can do at all. But yeah, so I got the home birth then after, but I didn't know that until like a day later, I think, after I had met with the original doctor. So when I left that appointment, I remember driving home and I literally had to like pull over because I was having flashbacks to like being in the hospital and also being 17 and being assaulted. And it was like this moment of me just being like, because these people are making me feel like this doesn't matter at all. They're making me feel like this isn't the big thing and I should just get over it and do what I'm told. And I'm like, this was like a moment of reality of like, no, this is really hard on me and you don't want to listen to how hard it is for me. And it's like, you can't be vulnerable in those situations with the doctors or anything like that either, because you have to put on this tough exterior that you're not just going to lay over and let them do whatever they want. So it's like, you can't even express the emotion of how sad and scary it is for you, because you have to be tough almost, or else they're going to take advantage of the fact that you're being vulnerable.
And they had literally said to you, if you're a good girl.
Yeah, like literally be a good girl and do what we tell you, which like I feel like even in itself is triggering, because it's like, again, taking away your option of no, which is not okay for any situation. But yeah, I got the home birth anyway, joined the party very late. And yeah, I met with the midwife and like it started out good, like I was hopeful and like talking about everything that I wanted and didn't want. And I definitely think that there is like benefits of the home birth over the hospital birth, because you're meeting with someone who is going to go through everything in depth with you. Like, this wasn't my first time around, but it was still, everything was explained to me. And I remember thinking, like, if this was my experience the first time around, I think that I would have been feeling so much better during those times where I was like, I just don't know what's going to happen. I don't know anything. Whereas this time, like, I already knew the stuff, but it was still great to hear people actually reiterate to you. And I was, again, telling them everything that I didn't want. And at first it was fine. Like, it was like, yeah, no, if you don't need a vaginal exam, we won't do one. But then it was like, it progressed and it was like, you'd meet them again. It'd be like, okay, but we might need to do one. And I'd like, okay, where's this going? And then there was another appointment where my mom was there, and one of them turned around to my mom and said, you know, we might need your help talking her into it. And my mom was like, huh? Because like my mom is like, I can't get her to do what I want her to do anyway. Like, she was like, regardless of this, because my mom was also like, I said no to every one of those things as well, so I can't really sit here and talk her into it when I know that I denied everything as well.
And also, you are a pregnant adult.
I know, yeah, and it's like talking to your mother to say like, you need to look after her because she doesn't know what she wants. Yeah. She's not going to know what's going on because she's in labor. You need to help us
to coerce her into something that is highly triggering for her.
And she has clearly stated that she doesn't want. Over and over again as well, like not just one occasion. We have talked about this extensively. But then I also had another appointment because obviously I was having the home birth, free birth, whatever. But at this point, like, my ex had told me that he wasn't going to attend the birth no matter what, and he didn't want to come to any of the appointments or anything like that. But he came to the house one day to pick up our son while I was in the middle of an appointment. And then he just sat down and joined the appointment after, like, basically telling me he wasn't wanting to go to any of them. Because my stance was like, you know, I know that he was afraid. And I was like, maybe if you talk to somebody, talk to a midwife who knows all these things, it might help ease your fears. And, like, him being there, she did, like, try and talk to him and say, like, what is it that's the root of your fear? And he didn't really have an answer. And she kind of said to him, like, would you listen to a podcast? Would you read a book? Would you do XYZ things? Like, she gave him plenty of options of things that he could do to try and alleviate the fear. And everything was just no, 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 no. And it just kind of left me, because I'm embarrassed then at that point, because I'm like, oh my God, like, please work with someone. Like, if you won't listen to me, listen to somebody else. Like, but yeah, he left then, and things kind of continued as normal, but it came to a point where I decided that I didn't want him at the birth anymore, because I was like, to me, it was just like, I'm not comfortable being around him or having him there, because I didn't know how he was going to react, for one. I didn't know what kind of energy he was going to bring into that space, and he had also just told me that he didn't want to be there anyway, so I was like, what would it matter to him realistically at this point? But I remember saying that to two of the midwives, and I said it to them individually. So I said it to one of them first, and she was like, well, that's not really fair on him, is it? And I'm like, but why was it fair for him to decide that he didn't want to be there in the first place? Like, that wasn't fair on me. But hey, I was going to deal with it.
Cheating on you at
8 months pregnant.
Not really fair.
Yeah, life's not fair, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first reaction. And then the second, the midwife who was actually going to be there, when I told her, she was actually relieved to know, because she was like, I didn't know how he was going to react being there. And she's like, it's obviously not a good idea to have somebody who is maybe going to freak out while you're giving birth. So she was like, I'm actually relieved to hear you say that and that you've come to that decision. So that was a bonus point for me, I guess, because it was good to know that, like, people did see my perspective on it, because it wasn't out of maliciousness or anything like that. It was purely out of a decision of what is best for me and my baby to come into this world. Like, you know, I don't want to be on edge or worrying about what he's thinking while I'm giving birth. Like, I'm not panicking. Why are you panicking? You know? But yeah, as it got closer then to me giving birth as well, again, the vaginal exams became a bigger and bigger thing. And it was like, by the end of it, it became, I need to do at least 3 vaginal exams. And I'm like, this is a big jump. Like, and you're saying this to me, like, just before I'm about to give birth. And another thing that just consistently came up was a TENS machine. I was offered a TENS machine at every appointment, despite saying every time, no, I don't want one. Why does this keep coming up when I said no, I don't want one? Right? Yeah, hypnobirthing as well. And I was like, I'm not scared. Like, I feel like you're not getting it. I'm not scared. I'm okay. I want to feel everything. Like, one of my biggest things about giving birth the second time was I want to experience it fully this time. And as much as I do feel like I experienced a lot of it the first time, I was also completely out of it when I was on gas and air, when I was pushing. Like, I just feel like I missed out on a lot of that part. And, like, that's not me saying that I regret the gas and air either, because I did need it. It went on for so long that I was just like, I need something. But this time around, I was like, I know what to expect in terms of pain. I know how this is going to go. Like, even if it had taken as long as Man's birth did, I feel like I would have been better prepared to cope with it, because I knew what to expect this time.
And you had done shit tons of research and everything as well.
Yeah, like, I knew what I wanted, and I had ideas in my head for things that I could do if it came to certain points. But even at that, when I got into it, it just became a thing of following my instincts, to be honest, because, like, a big thing that helped me when I was giving birth to Man was the shower. The shower was like my saving grace when I was giving birth to Man. giving birth to Eden, I hated the shower.
Mhm.
I got in the shower and I was in the shower for like 10 minutes, I'd say, tops. And I was like, nope, can't do that. Mm-mm. And yeah, like I remember going into birth and like I started off with like the Braxton Hicks and stuff like that, and I was just like, oh, at this point, fucking, it's not happening. It's like, it's not happening. And I remember like texting you like every couple of days being like, I have Braxton Hicks again. Do you think it's happening yet? And you'd be like, I'd be like, no, tell me. You're meant to say yes or no.
Let me check my crystal ball.
Read the cards or something, girl. Come on. What did the stars say?
Today is today.
And then if it didn't happen, I'd be like, I hate you. Blocked.
This is all your fault,
Yeah.
Rach. You can't be my doula if you don't tell me exactly when this baby is coming.
Sacked. So yeah, I had the Braxton Hicks again. I was like not confident that it was going to happen because I had this idea in my head that she was going to come early, and I'm pretty sure that her due date was like the 23rd or something like that. I think I had her 2 days early or something. Maybe you remember better than me, but no,
I don't remember due dates.
Yeah, they don't matter anyway.
No, I know when someone, I always know the time around someone is due, but the actual date,
yeah, that's irrelevant.
yeah,
no one cares.
It's
about
a
that bit.
guess.
Yeah. So I just thought in my head that she was going to come early, but when I thought she was going to come early, I thought it would be like, you know, like a week early or like 2 weeks early. No, she was like 2 days early. Yeah, early. So I literally was having those Braxton Hicks and I got up and I went for a walk with Man because I was like, in my head, I was like, this is probably like one of the last days that I'm going to get just me and him. So we went for a walk, came home and we were just chilling out or whatever. And then come like 6 o'clock, I was like, this is still going on. I was like, is it happening? I was like, it's probably not. And then I think it got to about 8 o'clock and I was like, I think it's happening. I think that this is happening right now. So I just kept going for a while and like I was just kind of walking around. Like I remember like starting off in the sitting room on the couch and then it was like I was literally like, you know, like the like downward dog, is it yoga? No, because it's like when you're on your knees and like have your head forward like that. That's the position that I was in for a while in the sitting room. And then I remember progressing to my kitchen because I was literally like holding the kitchen counters and just kind of like swaying my hips and stuff like that. And again, like I knew ways to deal with the pain and stuff like that, but it's not what I had envisioned me wanting because I was basing it off of what I wanted when I gave birth to Man, but it was completely different this time. It was like I wanted to move, whereas when I had Man, I was like, I just need to lie down. I just need to sit down. But this time I was moving around the whole place. And yeah, I tried the shower and I was like, no, that's not helping this time. And I can't even remember about what time I called you, but I called you and I was like, yeah, I think I'm in labor. Just letting you know, like, I think I'm in labor. And you were like, okay, well, do you want me to come? I was like, I don't think I need you yet. I think I'll be okay. And then like 10 minutes later, I was like, get here now. So at that point, even before you got there, I think I had like hobbled down to my room and like literally pitch black in my room and just lying. Like it was the same position that I was in when I tried to give birth to Man before they made me turn around onto my back, where I was like up against my bed and like on my knees on the floor. And it was like a completely different experience that time as well because I was just able to do what I needed to do pretty much. Like, and even when I got, like, it's like I knew when I was in transition as well, but I didn't get that transition. I can't do this. Like, I never got to that point, but I knew when I was in transition and when she was nearly here. And yeah, we kind of made the decision, I guess, to not call the midwife. And then, like, my mom could see that, like, Eden was making her way. So my mom was like, well, I call the midwife. And I was like, yeah, call her. And my mom goes off, comes back with like gloves on her hands and a freaking towel, and she like turns to Lorraine and she's like, do I catch her?
Who catches the baby?
Yeah, you. Because I'm out of it. Like, my whole plan if I was doing this at home was I was going to get in the bath and then that would be easier to like catch the baby, but I was like so zoned out of it. My mom's just like fully prepared and then like, do I catch it? But yeah, my mom caught Eden then, which was a great experience. I feel like I very much feel like Eden was just ready to bring in a lot of feminine energy into the world.
And that she has.
Yes, feminine rage.
I mean, we all have it.
So yeah, then the midwife arrived, and yeah, she straight away was saying to me about how she needed to check me for tears and stuff like that. So I was up on the bed, and like the minute she like looked between my legs, and like I could nearly, I don't even know if she touched me. I just think I like sensed her hands coming near me, and I just like jumped back. And I remember you looking at me, like she kind of like upped her head and was like, "What the fuck?" And you were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah. And it was like at that point that I knew that I made the right decision, because I was like, I didn't trust her at all. I didn't trust her to not touch me in that situation. So it's like I wouldn't have trusted her at all the whole way through that birth. I wouldn't have been able to relax the way I did. I would have been on edge the whole time. So I was very much solidified in my decision at that point. And at this point as well, I hadn't given birth to my placenta, which was another big thing for me that I had mentioned to her, that I really wanted to give birth to the placenta naturally this time, because I never got to experience that the first time around. And it still hadn't come, like, I don't know, like half an hour after I gave birth to Eden, I think. And she suggested that we go to the toilet so I could like sit down on the toilet, and sometimes that just makes it easier. So I sat down on the toilet, and at that point, like, I was away from you, I was away from my mom, I was still holding Eden, and she like turned around to me and she was like, "So did you get any like inkling that you might have, like, today might have been the day?" And I was like, "No, not really." Like, I was like, I went for a walk with man, because I was like, you know, in my head I was like, it might have been like one of the last days that I got with him. And she was like, "Oh, so you did know that it was like your last day with man alone, and you didn't call me or text me?" And I was like, "Bitch." Like,
Please?
yeah, like literally just after giving birth, and now you want to interrogate me? Like, no, I didn't know that I was going to give birth to her today when I woke up. That was just like a sense that I got in my head, not that like that was concrete information. I'm sorry, like, so yeah, at that point I was like, no, I didn't know. Like, what do you mean? Like, did I know when I was in labor? Yeah, but that's different.
I also didn't know I was pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. Like, leave me alone. How was I supposed to tell you if I didn't know I was pregnant? So yeah, after that then it was all fine, and yeah, she stayed for a little while, and she was like, sorry, there's hair attached to me. But yeah, she was saying to me then about Eden's weight, because Eden was smaller than Man. Like, Man was nearly 9 pounds, I think, and Eden was just about 6 or 7. I can't remember. But Man, 6, 7. But yeah, Man was like a big baby, I suppose, and Eden, she was saying she was a small baby, but I was like, she's average. She's like the normal size. So she turned around to me and she was saying that if I had given birth to her in the hospital, that they would have wanted to put her on glucose and all this kind of stuff, because she's a small baby. So yeah, she told me that she was a small baby, and I give birth to big babies.
You've had one previous baby.
Yeah. Okay. So I was like, for all we know, Man is the weirdo here. Like, but yeah, moving on from that, then I was just like, oh, why is everything made into a big thing? Because even after that, then, like, she was saying to me, because I told her I didn't want to get the vitamin K injection for Eden. And when it was coming up to like me going into the hospital, because we had to go in and get like her hearing test done, and she was like, oh, they want to talk to you about the vitamin K when you go into the hospital. And she was like, you know, like, she kind of made it out to be like it was going to be a big problem, basically, after me having told her this the whole way through my pregnancy, that I didn't want this, and now all of a sudden it's a big fucking issue. So then when I was going in, like, I already knew all the reasons that I didn't want it, but I was like, I just need to like get this information like fresh in my head again. So I started looking into it again. And when I read the actual like, it wasn't the insert, it was like the HSE like conduct for vitamin K. and was a process of procedure. There's some sort of official word on it about vitamin K. And I found that and I read it, and it said that babies who have a relative that has hemophilia should not receive intramuscular vitamin K. And I was like, okay. I told them when I was pregnant with Man that one of his uncles has hemophilia, and he still received the vitamin K. And I'm like, and it was like the minute I said that, it was like, oh, okay, grand.
Again,
Yeah.
not a big deal.
No, literally not a big deal at all. And I was like, and I don't know, maybe it was the way that I spoke as well, because again, I think that if you go in and you're a little bit more meek, which I would have been when I was younger and had Man, I don't know if it's the directness that I had or like more of the confidence that I had at that point that made them back off.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it wasn't a big deal, whereas I was kind of made to believe that this was going to be a big problem. And I was like, okay, that was fine. And then after I had Eden as well, another thing that I was struggling with was the uterine contractions, because I didn't actually have that happen to me on Man, which is surprising because I was breastfeeding with Man as well, but I do not remember having like such bad contractions after giving birth. And this went on for like, I think like 2 weeks. Like it was really sore. But I knew that I didn't want to take pain relief because, again, to me, this was something that I needed to feel and something that I wanted to go through. And I did do my own thing for like pain relief. Like I was using castor oil packs and stuff like that. But every time that the midwife came to see me and asked me about the uterine contractions, she was like, do you want Panadol? Take paracetamol. And I was like, how many times do I have to say no before you give up?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand. Like, if I want Panadol, I will go to my press and get Panadol. Like, there is Panadol here. I don't need you to give me the Panadol. But like, because she kept saying it to me, I feel like I just dug my heels in deeper, and I was like, I'm not doing it.
After both of your experiences, what does choice mean to you now when you think about pregnancy, birth, motherhood?
I suppose a choice just means actually having options, like, because we're not given options. Like, even going back to like the water birth, like, it's the illusion of an option. Like, it's not actually an option for most people. Like, if you're only giving options to like 1% of people, is that really an option? Like, I do think that every mother should be given choices. Like, if there even is some things that make them limited in choices, there still should be choices to some degree. Like, I think that it's really bad how even they look at you when you decide that you want an alternative path. Because again, it's like, I don't think it affects them in their day-to-day life if I decide to give birth at home. So yeah, I think that choice to me just means that we need to have options, and we need to be able to avail of those options and not be judged or condemned for making different choices, because I do feel like I was condemned to a certain amount for having made a different choice.
What would you want other women to know about listening to themselves or listening to their instincts?
I think I'd want them to know that, like, listening to yourself just brings so much confidence to your life, I suppose, because, like, I think, again, I had a lot of these instincts and stuff like that when I had Man, but I didn't listen to them. And it takes a lot, I think, to actually just trust your gut instinct. And I think that you'll find a whole new version of yourself once you do listen to those gut instincts. Because I think that I am a completely different person after both of my births. Each time it changed me. So yeah, I do think that you will meet a new version of yourself when you start listening to yourself and tuning into your gut instincts.
And you mentioned that you're a new version of yourself. So what has your journey, or your journey from Man's pregnancy right through, what has that taught you about yourself?
So many things. Like, how do I even sum that up? Like, I think that Man's journey taught me that I can do a lot of things. Like, I was just like, straight after giving birth to Man, it was just like, wow, I really fucking did that. Like, and it's like, you always know that you're going to give birth, but once you do it, you're like, fuck, like, I'm really fucking strong, actually, and my body can do so many amazing things. And then giving birth to Eden was just like, it just taught me that I was strong enough to actually face all these things, and that I can use what I learned from man to face these things head on. Because I think I was just like, I'm just going to disassociate from these things now. I'm not going to deal with them because I don't want the stress. Whereas Eden was like, you're going to go straight into the wolf's mouth, actually. So yeah, I think that man just gave me the confidence that I could do these things, and then Eden gave me the strength to actually face them as well.
Is there anything you would say to someone who is kind of, I suppose, struggling with trying to decide, do I want to go to the hospital? Do I want to do my own thing? Is there anything that you would say to someone in that kind of situation?
I think that the best thing to do is just kind of, it's going to sound crazy, but talk to yourself. Like, have the conversations in your head, because like a lot of people will ask me like, how did I make the decisions, or how did I get the confidence in my decisions? And I'm like, I questioned myself every day. And like, I know that that can sound like a paralyzing anxiety thing, but I honestly think it is good to doubt yourself and make sure that you are right in what you're doing, because again, I'm not going to recommend to anyone to do what I did, because it was the right choice for me, and only you know what the right choice is for you. And as much as like talking to other people helps, I think that it also helps to reserve that energy, because once you put that out and you get loads of these opinions from everybody else, it becomes almost diluted, and it's like you feel just as lost. So I think share it with the people that you 100% trust, and other than that, talk it out in your head. Maybe even write it down would be better, but I used to just have these conversations in my head.
In the mirror every morning.
No, literally like driving, having a conversation in my head.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, it's
great.
It's beneficial.
Right, well, thank you.
Thank you for having
There's
me.
part 2.
Again.
You are welcome, guys.
The long-awaited part 2 that only part 1 came out.